My dad discovered I was fascinated with radio because I'd get right up next to the radio speaker, and you know, radios back then were large. And he said, "Come on, we're going to the hobby shop." We did, and he bought me this. This is a crystal radio set that you could hook to the screen on your bedroom window, or any kind of an antenna that would, you know, be at least 10 feet long, and you could tune it to the local AM stations. I was hooked, and that's how it started for me. And I was 8. And I recall the first interview I did with a local politician was the mayor, and for all practical purposes, he could have been the president of the United States, because here I am, a green kid, trying to interview the mayor to get a soundbite for the 6 o'clock news that night. I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, there was nobody there to show me the ropes. They just had, you know, put me with the cameraman and said, "Go get this." But I brought them back a soundbite, and they used it, and I thought they ought to use it 3 or 4 more times because I did such a great job. You know? But that was my first venture into the business. And then I did an interview that just took the top of my head off. I interviewed the barber of Isaac Parker. Now, Isaac Parker was the hanging judge in Fort Smith. His barber was 102 years old and still remembered things quite well. And I mean, he was laying out all this history, and he did it in such a way that it just, I mean, my imagination just exploded. So that was another side of doing interviews. And I thought, holy Toledo, this is where I want to be. And so between the mayor and Isaac Parker's barber, you had a young kid, green kid in a small town, working for a small town TV station, who thought he was just the cat's pajama. Yeah, there was a guy named Charles Kelly, who was my first television news director. Charles is no longer with us, but Charles was the one that instilled in me, get a second source. And then he'd say, if you really want to be sure, get a third source on anything important. And I remember on one side of the coin, when I moved to Tulsa, his words haunted me. I could hear them in my sleep. And the very first interview I did was with Moshe Dayan, who was here on a visit with Dale Bumpers, then Senator Dale Bumpers. And 2 days later, I did a story on a young man who lived in a dumpster. And what was unique about that was it was air conditioned, had electricity, he had a heating unit, and it was on the property of a plant that he'd saved from burning to the ground. Those two extremes, those two stories, where I met a world leader and a guy living in a dumpster, pretty well round out my career. And I won't ever forget Charles Kelly's words, double and triple check your sources.